Jingle bells, jingle bells. Hi, I'm Caleb Jones. This is Alpha Male 2.0, freedom-focused lifestyle design for men, location-independent income through your own location-independent laptop-based business, not working for a job or a location-dependent business or gigs, and dating multiple attractive women all at the same time, long-term, with no lying, cheating, or drama. The freest lifestyle available to the modern day man in the collapsing era in which we live. We have a lot. The schedule for all the live streams next several weeks is now up. We have a lot of very important live streams here at Alpha Male 2.0 and over at Unchained CEO. We're going to have a live stream on how to build your dream team in your business. We're going to have a live stream on how to avoid one-itis. We're going to have a live stream about something I forgot. We're going to have a live stream, a Christmas nerd live stream. All of them. You need to attend all of them. That is your homework. Just kidding. I don't tell people what to do. I just state preferences. Alpha Male 2.0. Hang on. Today we're going to talk about how to get laid. Dating skills. And a lot of you guys, sometimes not a lot of you, a percentage of you complain that I don't talk enough about that topic, which is true. I don't. And the reason I don't, hang on, let me adjust my chair. There we go. The reason I don't, what's wrong with my chair? Hang on. There we go. The reason I don't is that's just not a big, having sex with lots of new women is not a part of my life and hasn't been for a while. So it's, I sometimes forget about that topic, but it is a critical, important topic. So yes, we need to talk about it. And we're going to talk about it in detail today. And I will continue to talk about this sporadically over however long I continue to do Alpha Male 2.0 content. So, what else do I want to say before I get started? There are slides here. For this and the upcoming live streams, these are podcasts. So if you prefer the audio version of this on your podcast platform, you can go to alphamale20.com/podcast. I'm on all the top 10, top 12 podcast platforms there. If you want the Unchained CEO podcast as well, that's over at Caleb Jones. That's C-A-L-E-B as in boy, jones.com/podcast. I'm going to cover what we have in the slides on dating skills, how to get laid in a way you probably haven't heard before. And then I'm going to talk about 90-Day Business Builder very briefly, and then I will answer your questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Cool? Cool. All right. I'm in the Christmas spirit. I've been listening to Christmas music. I love Christmas. I'm not a Christian. That's all BS, but I love Christmas. I can't wait for Christmas. All right. Here we go. Dating skills, or if you're a crude asshole, how to get laid. But I would never say how to get laid because I'm a gentleman and I have refinement. I went to an Ivy League college. Yeah, no. Hang on a second. Let me adjust my microphone here a second here. My microphone is not cooperating. What the fuck, bro? That's good enough. So dating skills in Alpha Male 2.0, we have, unlike other dating content on the internet, we have two sets of skills. We have dating skills, which I'll define in a moment, bringing new women in, and we have relationship management skills. If you watch a bunch of how to get laid content, dating coach content, pickup artist content, and even a lot of red pill content, it's about how to get laid with new women. There's not a lot of relationship management. If you talk to a lot of or if you watch a lot of YouTube content that is more tradcon guys, religious guys, you have a lot of relationship management stuff. You've got nothing about having sex with new women. And into the Alpha Male 2.0 lifestyle, you need both. You need to learn how to be able to bring new women in whenever you need them. It's a critical key skill you must have. All men need to have that in the modern era. And then you need to learn how to keep them in your life long-term while having sex with other women without lying, cheating, or drama, which is relationship management, which I talk about often. So today we're going to talk about dating skills, which is defined as dating skills means the ability to have sex with new women without having to pay for it. New women whenever you need without having to pay for it. Now, let me clarify without having to pay for it. That doesn't count the cost of a low-cost first or second date the way I teach. Low-cost first date that is $0 or close to it. Maybe it's at a Dell, you buy her nothing, or you buy her one drink, okay, $8 or whatever, however much it costs in your city, and that's it. Second date at your house. Worst case scenario, you have another second date at another bar. You spend another $8 or $12 or $20, not including those costs. You don't have to pay for it. I realize there is a subset of angry black pill / MGTOW guys who say, well, if you spent $8, you're paying for sex. Okay, I'm not in that world, and hopefully you aren't either. So you understand what I'm saying. That means no hookers and no sugar babies. Sugar daddy game is a different topic for another time. Okay, but that's what dating skills means. Now, that is a low-end baseline for dating skills. So, excuse me, what the fuck? Ideal dating skills means you have the ability to quickly have sex with new women you consider attractive whenever you need it. So the first definition didn't include the speed and didn't include the type of women. So there are some men out there. I know some of these guys. You might be one of these guys. You may know one of these people or some of these guys. They can kind of get laid. They're like, slightly more confident beta males or slightly better looking beta males, and they can get laid. But it takes them forever. They go on, 3, 4, 5, 6 dates. They spend weeks and weeks with a new girl, and then they finally have sex with her. And she's pretty, so all of his beta male friends goes, well, he's so lucky. No, he's not. He had to date her for 6 weeks before he got laid. That's stupid. So quickly have sex. The Black Dragon dating model I've been teaching for, God forbid, it's almost 18 years. I will celebrate my 18th anniversary as an Alpha Male 2.0 in February. I can't believe it. Anyway, what I've been teaching is very short 1 hour first date, very short second date at your place, have sex. 2 to 3 to 4 hours of FaceTime before you have sex. That's it. That's quick. Now, if some of you have the ability to have sex the first date, that's really quick. Great. Fine. Okay. Then with women you consider attractive, there is a bunch of guys, and boy, do I know a bunch of these guys, and a lot of you are in this category. You can get laid with a lot of women. They get laid with a lot of girls quickly, but the women are ugly. Not according to me, according to them. These guys. I'm not telling you they're ugly. You're telling me they're ugly. I know a lot of guys. I had a friend of mine years ago who he had sex with hundreds of girls, but they were all ugly. And he would, oh, I fucked so-and-so last night. Oh, is she pretty? Oh, no, she's ugly. She looks like fucking Chewbacca. Yeah, I mean, hilarious. Okay, so ideal dating skills is you can have sex with new women whenever you want without paying for it relatively quickly, and the women are cute, at least cute to you. And I follow a 4-stage or 4-tier attractiveness model instead of saying 1 to 10, which doesn't mean anything outside of your own brain. It's accurate to you, but it's not accurate to your friend likes, okay? So what is more accurate is ugly, average, cute, or hot. The women you're having sex with are at least cute to you, cute or hot. They don't have to be supermodels, but if they're ugly or average, that's not going to help you long-term. I've written about that in my books, all right? So that's the ideal. That's the objective here. Now, I want to discuss the concept of naturals, and that's what we used to call them back in the pickup artist days. You knew these guys in high school. Maybe if you're young, you know some of them now. I definitely knew a bunch of these guys from 7th grade, when I was in 7th grade to about 12th grade. I knew 4 of these guys. Every year was a different guy. Naturals are those guys, and as soon as I describe these guys, you'll remember them or maybe know them. They're naturally good at girls. From the day they went through puberty, when the day they hit 12, 13 years old, 13, I'm not kidding, they're good at banging chicks. They're just naturally good at it. That's why we call them naturals. They're just good at it. And what happens is you'll have these guys in the junior high or high school, and they're banging all these girls, and all their friends are still virgins because they're normal guys. They're like, how the fuck is he having sex? Not only banging all the girls, all the cute girls. I knew a number of these guys. And in my anecdotal experience, they're not good looking. They're not ugly, but they're not good looking guys. These aren't the jocks or the quarterback of the school of the football team. No, these are normal looking dudes. In my anecdotal experience, almost all these guys were short. They were shorter than average. So they had that going against them. Didn't matter. These guys got fucking laid like rock stars. And what's fascinating is that naturals don't use technique to get laid, which is why back in the pickup artist days, we would always say, never take advice from a natural because he can't tell you why it works. To him, it's just who he is. He can't explain to you, okay, here's how you get laid. Here's the technique I use. They don't use technique. They use some other things we're going to talk about in a few minutes. So let me see what the slides say here. Right. This is how naturals get laid versus the pickup artist. The classic pickup artist gets laid. And I used to be one. I came out of that world. So how does a natural get laid? He just walks up to girls and starts talking to them and asks them on a date, and they go on a date and they fuck. And if you say, how the hell did you do that? He said, well, just ask them on a date. They don't know how they did it because they don't use technique. They have other things going for them. How does the pickup artist get laid? So when you pickle the pickled pepper, hang on, another drink. When you picture the typical, prototypical pickup artist, you're going to get what? An ex-nerd, a former nerd who figures out all the techniques and figures out all the wiring and uses all these techniques in order to get laid. Mystery, Neil Strauss, Tyler Durden, whose real name is Owen Cook, all those guys. Me back in the day. We were all what? Former dorks, former nerds who spent time figuring out all the buttons to push correctly using technique in order to get laid. Now, was it just technique? No, it was something else other than technique. But that's the baseline of how the pickup artist gets laid. Right? Right. So the problem is when you ask a natural these things, as I said, he can't explain to you. So you'll have conversations like this. I've seen this happen, and I've experienced this myself back when I was a kid, when I was talking to naturals. You'll have a normal guy talking to a natural. So maybe they're both in early high school. Maybe one's a freshman and one's a sophomore, 9th grade and 10th grade or something. So we're talking like, one's 15 and one's 14, whatever, okay? Young kids, right? And the naturals already had sex with like 25 girls. The normal guy is still a virgin because he's 14 or 15. He's normal, right? So I had this conversation, but I've seen this conversation many times. There was a girl in high school. There was a girl I liked. I didn't have a crush on her, but I thought she was really hot. And talking to a natural on the phone, friend of mine, distant friend of mine, like an acquaintance, and he had already fucked her a bunch of times. So he's like, Caleb, you like her? Dude, you're decent enough. She'll fuck you. I'm like, really? Yeah. So then I'm a normal guy. What am I asking for? What are I looking for? Technique. This is the conversation normal men have with naturals. And I've seen this happen many times outside of this. This is how a conversation always goes. The normal guy says, well, what do I do? And the natural says, well, you just call her up. And that's it. The natural doesn't have any technique. So just call her up, talk to her, or walk up to her and say hi. And they're like, dumbass, don't you know this? Because he's a natural. He's confused why other men don't have these natural skills. So then you'd say, the normal guy says, well, what do I say? You say, hey, how's it going? No, we should hang out. And then the normal guy says, well, what do I say before that? Well, you say this. And then the guy says, well, what if she says no? Like, what do you mean, what if she says no? What the fuck? And the conversation goes nowhere because the normal guy is looking for technique. The natural guy just does this naturally. It's really funny to watch a normal guy talk to a natural. I experienced this myself. And that's basically what he said. He goes, hey, man, just call her up and say, hey, how's it going? And then just ask her out. We should go out. And to him, it was that simple because to him, it was that simple. Okay. Let's see here. So a better way to go about getting laid, and I have mentioned this before in other contexts, is instead of being the typical INTJ, nerd, ex-nerd, Lissig, which is what most men are in this world, this dating coach, pickup artist-y type world, whatever the world is supposed to be called now. It's not red pill, right? It's a subset of red pill. Whatever it's called now, they're looking for techniques, and you are too. They're looking for technique. What do I say? Caleb, what opener should I use? What exactly should I say? When you're doing dating, what exactly should I say? When she says this, what exactly do I say to that? So she's on my couch and we're at my apartment. And so how do I have sex? What exactly do I do? Technique, technique, technique. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with technique. I have used technique in the past to get laid. Nothing wrong with that. But that's not the baseline. The baseline is something else. So your objective is to get laid like a natural gets laid rather than how a pickup artist gets laid. because then it gets much easier. I somewhat did this. Now, I used a lot of technique. Back when I started out in this world in 2007, I was a divorced beta male dad living in an apartment with a mattress on the floor, and I was getting, when I started, you guys know, most of you know my story. When I started out, I used the concept I'm about to show you rather than focusing completely on techniques. Now, did I use techniques? Yes, I used some. The reason I didn't go technique crazy is some of the techniques I was taught by the pickup artists way back in 2007 didn't work. Now, some techniques did work, and they worked great. I was shocked. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this every time, and it worked great. Okay, and some techniques I figured out on my own that worked great. And some techniques I tried that was told and they didn't work at all. But the things I'm about to show you, the 5 things I'm about to show you, work 100% of the time within reason. You can't fuck every girl on earth. You can't fuck any girl you want. But you get my point. In all scenarios, they always work in terms of the statistical most likely. How do I say this? There's no technique that'll let you fuck any woman in the world. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, if you apply these 5 things to a statistical group of women, 20 women, 30 women, 40 women, it'll work with most of the girls. Whereas techniques may or may not work. Okay? I'll get more clear in a minute. And I'm just saying here with the slides, that doesn't mean you can't use techniques. Please use techniques. Techniques can help. I'm talking about not focusing on techniques, because that's what most of you are doing. And that's not what I did. I didn't over-focus on techniques. I focused on these 5 things I'm about to discuss. And I went from divorced beta male dad, overweight, with a big gap in his teeth, thinning hair, 10 years out of practice with dating women, no real money. I mean, I had some money, but I couldn't spend any because I'm going through a divorce. I went from that to a guru level dating guy within about a year and a half, because I focused on these 5 things and not just techniques. And men IFC go from boom, boom, go that quickly in terms of virgin or divorced guy or normal beta male guy to like he's got 3 MLTRs and 4 FBs, and he's got women coming out of his ears. They all focus on these 5 things as well, instead of just techniques. All right. All right. Here are the 5 things up top. The 5 pillars of how to get laid. Number 1, top of the list. I'm gonna list these all, and I'm gonna go into each one in detail. Okay. Number 1, outcome independence. Is that a technique? No, that's a trait. It's one you can build and practice. Number 2, confidence. I'll explain all these in a minute. Number 3, not looking like shit. You have to look like Tom Cruise? No, you just can't look like shit. Number 4, emotional control. And, well, talk about that in a minute. Number 5, dating techniques. That's number 5 on the list. PUA stuff. That does help, but it's one of 5 things. Okay, now, really quick. Most of you in the modern day collapsing Western world are going to have the most problem with number 1 and number 4. Outcome independence and emotional control. You guys suck with this. Men are as bad at this as they've ever been in human history. And unfortunately, a lot of the gurus that men now worship also do not exhibit these things. The 2 poster children for not having outcome independence and not having emotional control, Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson. 2 of the most emotional, angry guys on the internet, and I can list 10 other guys. And so not only do men exhibit lack of emotional control and lack of outcome independence, they follow men who reinforce these behaviors and makes it even harder for them to get laid. But Kayla, how come Andrew Tate gets laid if he has no outcome independence and no emotional control? Because he's Andrew Tate. He's a good-looking guy. He's ripped. He's worth $30, $40, $50 million. He's not old. All right. He's confident. He can pull it off. Are you Andrew Tate? Do you have $50 million? Do you have a 6-pack? All right. That's how he can get away with it. And is his dating life a cakewalk? No. He went to jail because of his dating life. So anyway, we're going to go through each one of these. Outcome independence. This is number 1 for a reason. I'm really big on this. Talk a lot of this in my books. This is a core trait of the alpha male 2.0. Outcome independence is the number 1 most attractive trait you can have to a woman that is non-physical. Number one, by far, most attractive thing that you have to women that is non-physical is outcome independence. When you're on a first date with a woman, or a day game scenario with a woman, or social circle game scenario with a woman, or referral game, this is all new women you haven't had sex with yet, and she's pretty, and she knows she's pretty, and she can tell you don't give a fuck about her. You don't care if you ever see her again. It comes through in everything you do and say. You're still nice and polite. I'll cover that in a second, but you clearly shows you don't give a shit. She will be attracted to you. She will be turned on by you, and she won't even know why. And I, as an overweight man, have personally experienced this many, 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 many times, especially back in the day when my SMV was much lower than it is today. They didn't even understand why they wanted to fuck me, because I didn't care. Every other guy that went on a date was like, oh my God, you're so hot. Oh my God. Even alpha male 1.0s. Okay, you should date me right now. You should get married. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Okay, bye. And we go, what? And as I've said many times, the hotter the woman, the more effective outcome independence is. I have a course on how to date 10s. I've done at least one podcast thing on how to date 10s. Number one top of the list is extreme outcome independence. Because the only men, 10s, women who are 10s have access to are beta males who are terrified of them and don't go near them because they're intimidated, or super Andrew Tate players. And that's it. All of them are outcome dependent. You come along, you're the only outcome independent man she's ever met in her life. Even if she's a famous Instagram model, an actress, whatever. I'm not kidding. It works. Okay. What does outcome independence mean? It means you do not give a fuck about the outcome of any one individual scenario, like a first date. Now, does that mean people say, well, how can you be outcome independent? You want to get laid? Yes. On the macro, you want what you want. You want to get laid, and you want whatever your objective is. You want an OLTR with 5 FBs on the side. You want 3 MLTRs and 2 FBs. You want to have sex with 100 girls. Whatever your stupid objective is. Yes, you want that. But in any given individual scenario, like a first date or messaging a new woman, you don't give a fuck no matter how amazing she is. Even if she is your version of a perfect 10. She's your ideal woman, a woman you would marry. You don't care if you ever see her again. And I say this in my books. If she says, oh my God, I love you, and rips off her clothes and fucks you right there, great. If she says, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, and takes her drink and splashes it in your face and walks out of the bar, great, you don't care. If she just sits there like this with her arm full of whatever, I'm a feminist, you don't care. See, already, by the way, well, she's a feminist. Yeah, because you're outcome dependent because of Trump, shit like that. You don't care. If she's neutral and you can't really tell if she's into you or not, and you're confused, you don't care. You don't care no matter what happens. But Caleb, I do care. That's your fucking problem. I know. You care. That's what outcome independence means. By the way, this applies to business and making money in the business world as well. When you're trying to close clients and stuff, if you're desperate, you need the money, they can tell. If you don't give a fuck, they'll buy from you. Okay. Outcome independent does not mean you're rude. So some people misinterpret this. It means if you don't give a shit, it means you're an asshole. And you're like treating her like shit, and you're rude, and you're checking out the waitress. And no. When you're on a first date or similar type scenario with a new woman, second date, you're meeting her through social circle game, whatever the scenario it is, you are nice and polite to her. You're nice. You're a nice guy. Okay. Alpha male 2.0, the frame is 85% beta male, 15% beta male, 85% player. So that 15% of beta is you're nice. You're not 100% player. That kicks up ASD. Nope. And if you get laid, you'll never hear from her again. A lot of you have that problem because you're too player. Okay. So you're nice and you're polite. When I go on a first date, I have been on hundreds of first dates. I can do them in my sleep, and I have. I'm a very nice person. I'm nice. I'm polite. But they can tell I don't give a fuck if I ever see them again. while being nice and polite. It's like a love potion. It's awesome. Now, but Caleb, but I do care. Fake it till you make it. I talk about this in my books. Fake it till you make it does work. I had to do some of this. I'll discuss more of this when I talk about emotional control. You fake it. You pretend like you don't care. And eventually you'll get the hang of it. Pretend. Do your best. Do your best. If you can't 100% do it, 50% do it. Try your best to act like you don't care if you ever see her again while being nice and polite. And if you can pull that off without any change in technique, you'll suddenly start getting laid more. Men's number one problem in dating scenarios is that they're too outcome dependent. That's beta males and alpha male 1.0s both. Now, alpha male 1.0s can overcome it by being overwhelmingly confident or super good looking or super wealthy with the SMV stuff. And the beta males just fucked. Confidence, number two. What does confidence mean? The two phrases for confidence is, I can handle this. No problem, I got this. Or I know what I'm doing. That's what confidence means. If you're doing something, if you're going to go in for a test, a math test, and you're really good at math, I got it. I'm good. I'm confident. You're confident about the math test. If you've been on hundreds of first dates and you go to another first date, I got it. If you're a public speaker and you've done fucking 10,000 speeches in front of people, like I have, not 10,000, but a lot, you're like, I got it. Whereas if you've never spoken in your life in front of a group, you're like, oh shit, you're not confident at all. That's what confidence means. Confidence in yourself. Okay? Really powerful. Women are super turned on by confidence. Almost as much as outcome independence, but not quite. But almost. It's like right below outcome independence is confidence. Confidence, outcome independence. Talk about that a lot. There is situational confidence and there's overall confidence. Situational confidence is, are you confident driving a car? Probably, because you've done it for 20 years, right? So you're confident. Are you confident if you have to give a big speech for 45 minutes in front of 5,000 people and you can't refer to any notes? Are you confident about that? Probably not. So you have what's called situational confidence. You're confident in certain areas, in other areas you're really scared. Then you have overall confidence, where you have an overall confident personality. I have an overall confident personality. You could put me in any scenario, no matter how weird it is, or even if I have no context for that scenario, and I will still be generally confident because I'm a confident person, because I had to practice. If you're starting from zero, you're probably situationally confident, and that's okay. Your goal is to become a more overall confident person. That may take you a few years of practice, and that's okay. It took me some time too. I was not confident when I was 18. Okay, I wasn't. I was not confident when I was 25. I wasn't. I was barely confident when I was 35. A little, not much. A little bit. I had some, because by then I started business and stuff. So just be aware of this. And if you have situational confidence there are guys like this. There are guys who are pussies, but they have situational confidence when it comes to women. So they get laid a lot, even though they're pussies. I know guys like this. They're not confident, badass guys. But when it comes to women, they've been on so many dates and they've had sex with so many women, they got it. Make sense? Once again, but Caleb, I'm not going to fake it until you make it. It does work. I did this. I did it. You can pretend to be confident. Act the part like you're an actor. Pretend you're Jack Nicholson. I wonder if some of you guys, young guys, don't even know who that is. You know what's hilarious? Bill Maher had Jane Fonda on one of his recent podcasts. And what I thought, I didn't watch it because who cares? But what I thought was hilarious was I saw little clips on YouTube of these young millennial and Gen Z guys, YouTubers, commenting about this. And they had no idea who Jane Fonda was. Like this old woman was on Bill Maher, some old feminist. Her name is Jane Fonda. They have no idea who Jane Fonda is. You know how big and important a person she is in pop culture? Are you insane? But people don't know. It's hilarious. I could talk about the younger generations, but I won't. When I was a kid in Gen X, I knew about Hopalong Cassidy and John Wayne, who was way before my time. So it's not like, well, you didn't know things when you were. Yes, we fucking did. Anyway, don't get me in a rant. All right. How do you fake it till you make it? I talk about this in my books in great detail. Pick your favorite actor or YouTuber or professional or public figure, doesn't matter, and copy him. James Bond is a great person to copy, for example. A lot of guys are good. A lot of good examples. It's hard to find characters in movies who are outcome independent. That's pretty rare. But confidence, that's easy, especially older movies, older TV shows, no problem. Pick your favorite one and just see how he moves, see how he speaks, see how he talks, his facial expressions, and just kind of copy him. It works until you become confident yourself. Fake it till you make it. Copy someone you like who comes across very confident. I'm sure you can think of right now, you're probably already thinking of one or two people, public figures or actors or whatever, celebrities, sports world, movie world, whatever, who you think are pretty cool, you think are very confident. Act like them. It's fine. It works. Don't act like them if they're totally the opposite of your personality. Try to find someone who's somewhat in the same zone as you, right? You can be confident and be introverted. You can be confident and be quiet. You don't have to scream and yell like Andrew Tate. And some confident men do scream and yell like Andrew Tate. It's fine. Some confident guys like Donald Trump scream and yell. If that's more your personality, fine. As long as you're not kind of independent too. Yeah, someone said the guy in Californication. It's a good example of quiet, chill confidence. Very good example. Good point. Yep. Not looking like shit. There's a lot of confusion about this. I have written entire articles at my blog about this. I've discussed this in my books. I've discussed this a lot. I'm just going to summarize this. Not looking like shit. Now, notice I am not saying looks maxing. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying get a six-pack. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm saying not looking like shit. You don't need to look like Brad Pitt. Do I look like Brad Pitt? Do I look anything like Brad Pitt? Okay, you don't need to look like Brad Pitt. Or what's the guy who was Ken on the Barbie movie? That guy. Gosling, Ryan Gosling, or Tom Cruise. That's what people think. Or to Andrew Tate, or Dan Bilzerian. Well, I got to look like this guy with six-pack yet? No, you don't. I've never had six-pack abs. Never had any that close. I never will. I do just fine. So wrong. And I know a lot of below average looking men who have cleaned up with women, including hot women. They didn't have to pay because they had these other traits, but they didn't look like shit. That's the key. You can't look like shit. It says you can't look like shit because most men do. Most men look like shit. And in the Western world, they look like shit. And the older they are, the more they look like shit. Am I super good looking? No. But do I look like shit? No, I don't. Now, when you compare me, I'm 52 years old. If you compare me to the average 52-year-old American man, not only do I not look like shit, I look kind of good. I know because women have told me, women who didn't know me. Look, like, whoa, really? You're 52? I mean, I've had those reactions. And I'm overweight. So I don't look perfect. I just don't look like shit. You can't look like shit, and most men do. Focus on what you control. Now, there's only two things you can't control: your race and your age. That's it. Every other aspect of your physical appearance you can change to some degree besides your race and your age. And even with your age, you can look younger. Now, if you are black, you can't look less black. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess you get the surgery. Fine. I guess you could do something like the Ariana Grande thing. I don't know. You get my point. Guys make all these excuses about, well, what about how tall you are? You can address your height. I've talked about this. You can wear shoe lifts. You can wear elevator shoes. You can address your height. That's not an excuse. Sorry, it's not. If you have thinning hair, you can fix it. I did. Get some fake hair like I did. Don't be stupid about this. If you have a fucked up teeth, fix it. I did. I had a big gap in the front of my tooth. I fixed it. If you're overweight, lose weight. I did. Got more to go, but I lost a lot of weight. I was much bigger than this at one point. If you're skinny and dorky looking, go to the gym and get some muscle. If you dress like shit, get some new clothes. If you walk hunched over, you have shitty posture, stand up straighter. If you have fucked up skin, you can address fucked up skin. You can address these things. These things are not outside of your control, dude. If you have a scruffy beard, clean that shit up. Stop making excuses about this stuff. The only you can't change is your age and your race, and even then you can alleviate those things. Everything else in your control, even things like bad teeth or height, you can control. The goal is not to look like Tom Cruise. The goal is to look like the least bad you can based on your age, your race, and your body type. The least bad you can. That's all you need to do. That's it. I'll give you more details. Well, actually, I'll give you more details right now. Hang on. But you get my point. You don't have to look like a superstar. Just look the least bad as you can, the best as you can. You have to address it. So here's the address. Address your hair. If you have a big bald spot, shave your fucking head or get the surgery or get the non-surgical option. You got all these options. Don't just put up with thinning hair. If you have long, scraggly hair and you look like a rock star from the 1970s, maybe you need to clean that up unless that is a predefined part of your look. Usually it's not. Hair. Clothing. And I have their fit, style, and color. Now, I'm not a fashion expert by any means, but I know enough to know that men wear shirts that are too big. They do. Men wear pants that are too tight or too baggy. That's men don't dress well. Okay? Modern day styles. If you're an older guy, do not dress like it's still the 90s or the 80s or God forbid the 70s. You have to move with time, not be stuck in time. Colors. There are certain colors that look good on you based on your hair color, your eye color, and your skin tone. Figure that out. Ask some women or go to an image consultant. I've done both. Okay? Men dress like shit. Fix it. You only need one or two outfits, by the way. Once you have sex with her twice, she doesn't carry. I talk about lock-in and my relationship stuff, right? Lock-in means she has sex with you twice. After she's had sex with you twice, you can dress any way you want. She won't care. But before that, you got to dress well. Not perfect, well. Skin. You got fucked up skin, address it. Grooming. I mean, I love these guys who, the big offenders of this are guys who had a long-term monogamous marriage. They get divorced and they got like hair growing out the side of their neck with these really scruffy goatees. It looks like shit. Shave the back of your neck. I shave the back of my neck every morning in the shower. If you have facial hair, it should look good, like a black guy's facial hair. When black guys have facial hair, it looks fucking perfect. When white guys have facial hair, you look like not Jeffrey Dahmer. You look like the guy from Waco, David Koresh. You look like him. You look like Jesus. Look like a bum. Clean it up or shave it off. If you want to have a beard, fine. But the thing now, especially with millennial dudes, these big, giant, stupid-looking beards, scraggly and fucked up, clean that shit up or shave it off. Body language is a component of how you look. A lot of you have shitty body language. You walk with a stoop. It used to be men over 40. So 2 categories. If you're over 40, most men over 40 start to walk with a stoop because they don't lift weights. Stupid, straight, tall, strong. Now you have men under 40 because of society and testosterone and the shit in the water. You got young men starting to stoop over. Don't. When you sit up straight. Big movements with your arms. You'll notice I move my arms around. I have some Sicilian blood in me, so I move around a lot. Okay? Take up space. Especially if you're a little guy. You need to take up more space. If you're a big guy, take up even more space. Tony Robbins is the ultimate example of the big guy who takes up even more space. I'm a big, big guy. And I take up a lot of space. I move my arms out, and people see me in real life from, my YouTube stuff. And I've had 2 or 3 guys lately say, for the first time they saw me in person, they go, whoa, you are a big guy. When you say you're a big guy, I didn't realize. Yeah. Okay. Weight. Obviously, this is a challenge for some, including myself, but I've said this many times. If I ate whatever I wanted, I'd be 450 pounds. How do I know? I have a sister who looks just like me who weighs 450 pounds. She can barely walk. I have relatives, close relatives, who got so fat they died. I have a big fat family. I have some skinny people in my family too. Okay. Get it under control. Now, weight is plus and minus. If you're a little skinny Asian guy, I'm sorry, that's not super attractive. You need a little bulk on you. So if you're a little skinny, ectomorphic dude, eat more protein, eat more calories, go to the gym. If you're a chubby fuck, get it under control. You don't have to look perfect. I don't look perfect, but I have it under control. And the older you get, the harder it gets. Tough shit. Suck it up. Emotional control. This is another one, just like Outcome Independence, where you guys are really fucking this up. I mean, I get all these questions about, what if I'm on a first date and she says she likes Biden? What do I do? Okay, this is outcome dependence and lack of emotional control. Stop giving a fuck. Stop being emotionally reactive. Stop it. Stop. All of society, including American politics and the internet, have trained you to be emotionally reactive all the fucking time. Stop it. Fucking hell. So step one of emotional control is being aware of your emotional states. It's called self-awareness. By the way, you could make the argument the opposite of whatever the opposite of emotional control is. Reactivity, hyperreactivity, I don't know what it is. Emotional weakness, I don't know. The opposite to that is self-awareness. So being aware of your mental states. So that means when you start getting mad, you're aware you are now getting mad, and you take actions to correct it instead of just going in and getting mad. So when you start getting really mad or really scared or really excited, because you could have emotional control applies to positive emotions too. You sit down, I'll talk about this in a minute, but if you sit down on a first date and she walks in and she's like an amazing fucking 10 to you, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe, that's bad too. You start getting mad, angry, scared, excited, in some cases, horny. Guys have a problem with this. They get horny, especially older men going on dates with like much younger girls. They start getting too horny and they start saying shit and it kills the deal. Or you're having sex without a condom. You start getting horny. You come inside her when you know she's on birth control. And then guess what? She's pregnant. She doesn't want to get an abortion. Now you're fucked because you're too horny. So all these things, what you do is you're aware that you're experiencing these emotional states. You're self-aware. You're like, okay, I'm getting mad right now. You're aware. Step one is being aware of it. Okay. Then what you do is you stop. You come to a complete stop and you pause. That's the hardest part. You stop. You pause. Wait, stop. I'm getting mad. Wait, stop. Stop. And then you control yourself. But Caleb, I can't control. I'll cover that in a second. But that's the procedure. Be aware of your feelings. I'm an extremely self-aware person. I have been for a while. I'm extremely self-aware. When I start getting irrational, which is not often because I'm a pretty rational person, but when I start getting irritated, horny, happy, too excited, I'm aware, okay, I'm getting really excited right now. Is this okay? Or do I need to pause and control myself a little bit? I'm aware of it. And if I need to stop and pause, I will stop and pause. Take a deep breath. Take 2 or 3 breaths. You know, the world would be a paradise if people just learned how to stop and take 3 deep breaths whenever they started getting mad. It would transform the entire planet Earth. If all you fuckers who get mad all the time, it doesn't matter what about. If your girlfriend calls you an asshole, or if your mom says this, or if Trump loses the election to Biden, it doesn't matter why it's mad. You're like, good. You just stop, take 3 deep breaths, and that's it. World will be a better place if people learn how to do this. You do that instead of just operating on autopilot and leaning into it, which is what you're doing. You just lean right into that shit, and it just goes off the rails. The feminine example of this is when women are PMSing, right? Every man who's lived with a woman for a decent amount of time has gone through this, right? You're living a woman. She's going through her angry once a month time. And what happens? She gets pissed off. And instead of saying, whoa, instead of the woman saying, wait a second, I'm getting mad now because I'm on my period. Hang on a second, Susie. Women don't do that, do they? Especially when they have a husband or live-in boyfriend they're used to. They just go right into the red zone. And if you even bring up, is it because you're on your period? Oh my God, now they're in the nuclear zone, right? But Caleb, I can't just stop. I'm not a robot, okay? And if I'm mad, I can't just stop and suddenly not be mad. Okay, maybe you can, maybe you can, man, but I can't do I'm a real person, All right, all these bullshit excuses. Do the best you can. So if you can reduce your anger by 40%, that's better than reducing it by 0, motherfucker. Right? So don't give me the bullshit. Well, because I can't reduce it by 40%, I'm going to reduce it by 0. Oh, no. Because I can't reduce it by 100%, I'm not going to try at all. Fuck you. Practice. This stuff all takes practice. So if you start getting mad and you can be aware of it, stop, pause, take a breath, take a beat, and say, okay, I got to calm down. This is going to fuck up my first date. If I get mad at her, I'm not going to fuck her. She's hot. Or whatever the scenario is. I've seen people lose out on job interviews because they got mad. I've seen people lose out on huge clients they could have gotten for their business who would have been good to work with because they got mad. I've seen people lose girlfriends and wives because they got mad. Good women. I've definitely seen men not get laid with women they could have fucked because they got mad or too excited or too horny or whatever because they didn't want to exert any emotional control. And yes, if you're Andrew Tate, if you're a multi-gazillionaire, you have a six-pack abs, your SMB can overcome some of this. You're probably not in that category. Okay? All right. I don't have a six-pack. Okay. Takes practice. Practice this shit. Stop making excuses. Ridiculous. Try for 40%. Start with a 40% as a goal. That's a good thing. Start with 40% as a goal. Instead of, well, I can't do it. It's not black or white, man. You can reduce down to 40%. Now, last thing on this. And this is true with a lot of you, a higher percentage of you than has ever been in the case in all of Western history because of Western collapse. If none of this shit works, you may have a legitimate problem. You may have to go talk to somebody. You may have to go see a therapist outside the scope of my expertise and this podcast, but you may have some of you up. There's a percentage of you who need to go talk to somebody. Well, I'm not seeing a fucking counselor. All right, great. Be mad the rest of your life and live a shitty life. Go ahead. Or suck it up, calm your fucking ego down a little bit and go see somebody. Not a coach, a therapist, or someone who's good at anger management or whatever. There's a percentage of you, because of your personality or your upbringing or drug use or whatever the fuck you're doing, you might need to talk to somebody. Most of you know, but a percentage of you, and it could be as high as 15% of you, maybe even 20%. I have not even addressed in this podcast, and maybe I should, but I didn't want to go off on that tangent, but I will mention this. Something like 50% of Americans are on some kind of drug. Prescription drug, like 79 million Americans are on some kind of psychostimulant drug. And so that means a good 30% of you listen to the sound of my voice are taking some kind of fucked up drug for whatever fucked up reason you have, your doctor has. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you advice. If I was taking some kind of mood altering drug, it doesn't matter what it is. One of my big goals in life would be get off that fucking thing as soon as I could. Because I'm not on any of those. I don't touch, you guys know me in drugs. I don't touch drugs ever. I've never been drunk in my entire life. Never smoked anything, never done any drugs in my entire life. I'm really big on that, even though I'm a anarchist libertarian. I think they should be legal, but I'm not going to touch them, including prescription drugs. So that is an entire other element. And one of the reasons why so many Westerners are outcome dependent and have no emotional control. You're on these goddamn drugs. Well, Caleb, I have to because, okay, make all the excuses you want, live a shitty life. Or try to change. If I cannot be 450 pounds, you don't know how difficult it is for me to not be 450 pounds. Trust me. If I cannot be 450 pounds, you can get off some or all of your drugs. You can. Is it easy? No. Is it hard work? Yes. Does it take focus? Yes. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. Doesn't matter. Suck it up. Dating techniques. Now we're finally getting to the techniques after these other 4 things. So number 5 on the list is, okay, fine, dating techniques, specific PUA tactics. What I would recommend is, if you want to use these, it's fine. Don't be a PUA nerd and read 10,000 PUA books and you have all these techniques in your head. Pick 2 to 4 techniques you're going to experiment with and just run with those and try them out. And that's it. That's it. The 2 to 4, and that's all. 2 is fine. That's kind of what I did. I didn't use all these different techniques. I would pick 1 or 2 or 3 to work on that were easy for me to do, either ones I came up with myself through my research or ones I got from other people, and I kept them simple and I tried them out. Okay. I'll give you a really easy example of what I used to do. I don't do this anymore. But when I was first starting out, learning how to get laid, I mentioned this in my books. No, I mentioned this way back on the pickup artist forums, which are now gone. It's called CIFS, CIFS. I had this in my phone. It said CIFS. So every time I walked to a first date, when I was about to walk to the bar, the deli, or the Starbucks, whatever, I pulled my phone and remind myself, CIFS. So C stood for confident. Caleb, be confident. And if you're not feeling confident, fake it till you make it, Caleb. Fake it. Confident. Pretend to be confident. Walk confident. Be confident. Okay? I means I don't give a shit, which is what? Outcome independence. I didn't have that term back then. But I knew if I didn't give a shit, and I've talked about where I skipped this part on emotional control. I had many scenarios, especially in 2007 and then early 2008 when I was getting used to this stuff. I would go on first dates with women who were like really hot. And I was shocked that why would they go on a date with me? I'm just a dumbass. Well, this is crazy. And what I would have to do, I remember doing this several times. I remember the women, I remember the whole scenario, where I was sitting, even though this was almost 20 years ago. The smoking hot Barbie blonde with the big titties, because that's what daddy likes, would sit to hide. She'd sit down. I'd be like, oh my God. And I would feel my heartbeat go pump, 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 pump. And I'd feel my breath. Holy shit. I'd be like, it was both shock and excitement and horniness. Shock, excitement, and horniness. Okay. I'm like, oh my fucking God. Holy shit. She's so hot. Now, what did I do? I was aware I was feeling this. And I would say to myself, if she sees that I'm super hot for her, my odds of fucking her go down. Can't have that. So Caleb, fucking calm down, man. Take some breaths and calm the fuck down. I would tell myself, bring it down, bring it down. And I would like consciously lean back, breathe a little deeper. Hey, how's it going? That was hard. I didn't feel it inside, but I pretended. And I had to do that a few times. Today it's normal. So you might do that. Anyway, I don't give a shit. F stands for funny. So smile, make her laugh. Don't be a clown. But I've said before, she should be laughing every few minutes or at least smiling on a first date. If she's not laughing or smiling at all for an hour first date, that's not likely to work. Sexual, sexually aggressive, sexual frame, sexual vibe. The problem with beta males is they're not sexual at all. They're friend zone guys, which is not attractive. Women, and I said sexual, not horny. I've talked about my books. The difference between sexual and horny. Horny is not attractive. Sexual is very attractive. Don't have time to go into that now. Point system. I'm going to give you one technique. I'm just going to run through this really quick. Matter of fact, let me turn off this screen. Actually, let me see if I have it on the screen here. Yeah, I do. Cool. So this is an old blog article. It's on my blog, alphamale20.com/blog. There's like what, 1,000 articles there on how to do this stuff for free. How to get laid. And this is one of my more viral articles I wrote several years ago. I'm just going to summarize. I'm not going to go through the whole article. I'm going to summarize it. Imagine that every woman, let me read my own article here. Yeah. Every woman you meet has a secret number between 1 and 100 on her forehead. Now, you don't know what this number is, and it's different for every guy. So let's say her number for you is 47. Her number for your brother is 62. Her number for your best friend is 94. Okay, it's a number. So it's a number that does not change, and you don't know what it is. Okay, it's on her forehead, but it's hidden. You can't see it. Okay? Your job is to score points on that first date over that number. If you score more than the number, she will have sex with you as fast as her ASD allows. So if she's over 33, it's going to take her 3 or 4 dates. If she's under 30, she'll fuck on the second date, maybe even the first, usually by the second. Okay? So everything you do, this is a Brian Tracy concept for one of my mentors. One of Brian Tracy's concepts was nothing is neutral. Everything either subtracts or adds. Everything. There's no such thing as neutrality in life. That's a Dungeons and Dragons concept, which is not real, because he was really big on this. So use that concept. Everything you do or don't do on a first date deducts points or adds points. So like I list down here, and different things are worth different points. So here's an example. If you smell bad, you lose 12 points. If you show up to date smelling bad, you lose 12 points. If you're dressed really well, add 15 points. If you're nervous and fidgety, lose 20 points. If your hair is starting to thin, lose 5 points. If you're ripped with six-pack abs, add 17 points. If you tell her how hot she is, lose 10 points. Talk about that a lot. Keep your mouth shut. If you have good eye contact, add 8 points. If you have bad teeth, lose 25 points, unless you live in the UK. It's more normal there, but United States, not good. If you have a confident, don't give a shit demeanor, right? Confident, outcommitted, add 20 points. If you ask them about moving in together on the first date, lose 17 points. Men actually do this, men over 40. If you have facial hair, add 12 points. That may not be true anymore. It's a little dated. Anyway, so what I would do before every first date, not anymore, back in the day when I was trying to get good at this stuff, I would stand in front of a mirror. I look at every full-length mirror, look at my hair, look at my eyes, look at my face, look at my mouth, look at my neck, look at my shirt. Was there any like chest hair sticking out of the front of my collar? Look at my hands, the jewelry on my hands, the rings I was wearing, the shirt, the jacket, the belt. Because every one of those things is going to cost me points if I don't have them on. It's going to cost me points or add points. My pants, how my pants fit, the color of my shirt, the shoes I was wearing. Women look at shoes. You don't. Women do. And then everything all the way in which I behave. That's why I did SIFs, confident, outcommitted, dependent, all that stuff. I wanted to add as many points as I could because I wanted to get as many. So, for example, what was an example I gave? Like, I've said this in my books. Do I think that having a good hairstyle is going to get you laid? No. But having a good hairstyle might add 6 points. And I need those points, especially if you're overweight like I am and I was. I need those 6 points. So I need to have a good hairstyle. Does that mean having a good hairstyle get you laid? No, but it gives you 6 points, 4 points. I needed all the points I could get. And if you have something subpar about your appearance, you are overweight like I was, you are shorter than average, you're a different race than she is, you need all the fucking points you can get, dude. All. No matter how little. So sexual success is about getting all the points you can on every first date. And I was very, very, very good at scoring as many points as I could. Does that mean I fucked every woman? Of course not. Of course not. My ratio when I first got started was 1 out of 10. It was brutal. Okay. One quick thing about 90-Day Business Builder, because enrollment's open right now, and I'll get to your questions. If you need help doing something, you can do it yourself, or you can get it done, have someone else who's already got it done show you how to do it. I'm going to burn through this really quick. This is 90-Day Business Builder 2.0. We have added a ton of stuff to this program, stuff you've asked for. This is now, and I keep saying this, and I'm right, the 90-Day Business Builder 2.0 is the #1 premier best business program in the entire world on the entire internet. For the price point it's at, which is a few $1,000s, just a few, not 25, not 10, not 35. You get more for this program by far than any other program anywhere near this. Programs like this are around $25,000 to $35,000 with the stuff you get. You work with us for 12 weeks, actually a little more than that. And you build a business that actually makes money within 12 weeks, that's location independent, that gets you free for your 9-to-5 job and your collapsing Western country. Even if you've never done a business in your life before, even if you have no idea where to get started, this program is for you. If you go to 90daybizbuilder.com, B-I-Z, 90daybizbuilder.com, and you look there, you will see all these video testimonials of all these guys who've made $1,000 from their first client, $8,000 from their first client, $14,000 from their second client, $50,000, or one guy made $31,000 from his third client, and on and on. These are all beginners who had no idea what they were doing when they signed up. Go look. They're all there, and we add more. Every month I add more. I'm in the process of 3 more right now. Enrollment is open right now until December 16th, which is Monday. That's you have to schedule your call. The way it works, you go to the website, you click the link there, you schedule your call. You get all your questions answered. I'm going to run through, I'm not going to do every little item. Basically, what we do is We work with you for 90 days, but we've added a month to this program. So instead of 90-day business builder, it's really 120-day business builder. So we actually add another month. It's 4 months. We work with you for 4 months. 4 months, not 3, 4. We used to have 2 live sessions per week. Then we upped it to 3. Now we're at 5. So when you sign up, you have 5 live sessions with a real life coach. These are not recordings, they're not videos. These are live sessions, 5 per week. 5 sessions per week times 120 days. How many sessions is that? Do the math. Insane. No other program in the world offers 5 sessions, live sessions per week for a few $1,000 for 4 months. No other program in the world. Most programs at this price point, they have 1 session a week. Some of them have 2. We have 5. And if you don't believe me, look around. We're the only one in the world that does this. 90-day business builder. This was my goal all along. All the sessions recorded in case you missed the call. You also get a 24/7 accountability coach that helps you in our base camp. You'll be in our base camp. You get to keep the base camp when you leave the program. It's yours forever. And we have a real coach, plus the other coaches too, who will actually work with you in base camp for the entire 4 months. In addition to all these things. Also, I'm throwing in as a bonus, it's a new addition to the program, you get a 90-minute group coaching call with me at some point during your 4 months, because a lot of people ask for that. Done. You can ask me any questions you want for 90 minutes in a group setting. Daily support in base camp. You get 25 how-to videos as soon as you sign up that are not available in any other course or bundle I have. They're just for 90-day business builder, how to find a niche, how to price, how to set up your mailing list, things like that. Structured curriculum every week. We give you assignments for the following week. We push you forward every week. We take it by hand and just tell you what to do. Do this, then do this, then do this, do this, and then you make money. And you can quit your fucking job. New thing we've added. We now have new informal, in-person, real-life meets. Several of them. We guarantee we will do 1 in the USA and 1 in Europe per year. We will do more. Billy already has a whole schedule of them for next year. Billy just was in London with 10 guys from Business Builder. All past and present members are welcome. So once you're a member, once you've been a member of Business Builder for the rest of your life, you can attend these for the rest of your life. You're an alumni. We love you. You also have private message boards where over 100 people are active in the program there now. You'll get advice for them that you won't get from the coaches. So you'll get me, Billy, another 6 or 7 coaches, plus your accountability coach, Jeff, plus 100 people on that message board helping you. And you'll get a lot of data and techniques from people on the message board you won't get from us. You get massive assistance in a way you don't get from any other program on the internet. Literally. When you sign up, we throw in 3 courses. My Alpha 2.0 business course, which is how to create a location in a business. We throw in how to get clients, which is 13 or 17 ways, I forget, ways that pay, that are cost money and ways that are free on how to get your customers and your clients for your business. And Big Income from Little Work, which is my book on how to set up location in a business. You get all that for free as soon as you sign up. We have a 90-day curriculum. If you get a 4th month at the end, the first phase is niche and what to sell. That's about 6 weeks we spent on that. Then the middle phase is logistics, setting up your website, your LLC, and your checking account and crap like that. Okay. And then the 3rd phase is marketing, getting your first, the objective of the program is to get your first 1 to 3 clients. Hopefully it's several $1,000s. 1 to 3 clients. Sometimes people get clients on retainer, monthly fees. Sometimes they get just big hunks. Sometimes they get a combination. Depends on the business they start. It'll be a coaching, consulting, or a service-based business because that's the fastest one you can do it. Now, if you schedule your call by Monday night, that's this Monday night, December 16th, what I will do just for this December, I'm not doing this again, is I will throw in a 20-minute one-on-one call with me. And I won't cut you off right at 20 minutes. I'm a little nice about it. One-on-one coaching call with me. Now, 2 things about that. I charge, if you go look at my coaching website, I charge, depending on the package you buy, around $1,000 for a 1-hour phone call with me. I do. I have to charge that or else I'd be losing money. You get this for free, 20 minutes for free. I've never given away free. I have never given away free one-on-one coaching ever. Probably never will again. I've never done it. Number two, I don't offer one-on-one coaching after December 31st. So about 2 weeks, you can't get one-on-one coaching with me, dude. Can't get it. At least not to the public. You get this for free by signing up for 9-Day Business Builder. Free. Use it anytime you want in the next 4 months. 20 minutes. 90-day, go to 90daybizbuilder.com, 90daybizbuilder.com. And you schedule your call. Your deadline to schedule that call is December 16th, which is Monday. So you've got about what? 5 days left? I'm going to just burn through these slides here. These are all just the phases of the business. I covered this on the other live stream. No other program in the world gives you real-world in-person support for this small price. None. Programs that offer this stuff are going to cost you at least $25,000. This is just a few $1,000. Tiny fraction of that, right? And we guarantee you will be making money within 90 days, period. You will be making money within 90 days because we know the system works. And if you don't, you will stay in the program and we will work with you forever for free until you make money. Literally. And there are a few guys in the program now who've done that. They're still in the program. We're still working with them. We're going to keep working with them forever until they make money, and they will. They will. Some of them, anyway, long story. You can make payments if you can't afford the entire thing. You can make payments. If you make payments, we will never charge you any interest or late fees on the payments, ever. We won't do it. Just pay us payments. If you're late, fine. Now, if you don't pay, we have to kick you out of the program. But if you're late, we'll work with you. We're very nice about this. I'm not in charge of these decisions. Therefore, we're very nice about it. This is a business program, so it's 100% tax deductible. You can write it off your taxes for 2024, even if you don't have a business yet, which means the amount of taxes you're going to owe in April, if you're an American, or if you're a European, I don't know what month, you'll owe less because you'll write this right off on your taxes. This is a tax deductible expense. The next cohort, the next group starts January 11th. So the way that works is you sign up now, you'll get all the materials, you'll get on board the base camp, you'll be in the message board, you'll get the videos. I might do an early bird session. I might do that depending on how many people sign up. You get ready for December, a little after the new year, and then boom, you hit the ground running on January 11th. It's awesome. You get plenty of time to get ready to go. We have done analysis on this. People who sign up before the curriculum begins and gets the materials first and starts doing some of the exercises have a much higher odds of actually making money in 90 days than people who don't. So that's why we did this. We did this on purpose. We have this down to a fine science now. $90daybizbuilder.com. If you're not sure, go there and schedule a call, and we'll answer all of your questions, and you can make your own decision. We are not high pressure on this stuff. Some of you already talked to like Matthew and Nizar, and some of you talked to me. We're not high pressure. We're alpha male 2.0 about this. Like, you want to do it or not? It's up to you. But at least get your questions answered, get things rolling if you want. 90daybizbuilder.com. Schedule your call. Make sure you get that call scheduled. You can have the call after the 16th, but you have to get the call on the calendar scheduled before midnight Monday night. Okay, cool. Does that make sense? And if you have questions on this, let me know in the chat or the comments, or send me an email, theonlyblackdragon@gmail.com. If you ask some questions, that's fine. But best way to answer your questions is you schedule your call. Okay, enough about that. Let me answer your questions here. Where's my mousey? Hang on, let me scroll. Let me zoom this up because I can't see shit. What's an appropriate amount of time to wait before asking out a newly widowed woman? Dude, before the body of her husband is cold, you make your move, bro. I don't know the answer to that question. It's going to be completely dependent on the scenario and the personality of the woman. There's no way to answer that question. Have you had any issues bringing EPIs back to your Airbnb when traveling? Never. A lot of hosts don't allow you to bring guests. How do they enforce it? Unless they have one of those ring things on the door, how do they enforce it? They can't. I've never had a problem. Many people are against interracial relationships. That's stupid. Like Nick Fuentes and Dr. Umar, when you were with the Asian OLTR, did you get hate or derogatory comments from people? Not once ever, no. If so, how do you handle it? I think you're in a weird spot of the internet. I think you're in an echo chamber. The vast majority of human beings do not care about interracial relations. This is very rare for anybody to give a shit about this. I have dated numerous, and I mean numerous, non-white women because they're hot. Who cares? I've never had a problem. Ever. Not once. Let me try to think this through. Have I ever had anyone comment? This wasn't just my Asian OLTR. I dated tons of Asian girls. Tons of Latina girls, like darker skinned Latina girls. I mean, mountains of this shit. No, never. I want to get my T to at least 700. Okay, I agree. I read on the Art of Manliness article to eat bacon and eggs to boost T. Yep. Red meat, basically. Yep. I've been doing almost everything else in that article. I'm just skeptical about the bacon. Then don't eat the bacon. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not a doctor. Then don't eat bacon. I was an a-hole to a girl I dated a few months ago. I regret it. I'm worried she may report my profile if I separate it. Don't worry about that. Just proceed. I've already apologized. I'm overthinking. Yes, you're overthinking this. Mr. Lucario, self-proclaimed natural, stated to just message women, what are you up to this week? And then just ask, when are you free to schedule a date from online dating thoughts? Yeah, I don't disagree. That's about right. If you read my online dating stuff, I'm very casual about this stuff. Yeah. Yep. Mr. Lucario is now Lucario is in rarefied air. He is a natural, but he's one of these rare naturals who's configured models where he can actually teach it. He's spoken at one of my events. He's awesome. So he can actually teach. His stuff's really good. I need to have him on here one of these days. I got to do that. It's on my to-do list. I'm not a natural like you. I am a huge nerd, ISTJ, low emotion, robot. Yep, that's me. I've worked out a lot, though. Suggestions for what? Everything I just talked about. I thought this other girl had lost interest, and I told her, so I was moving on. She accused me that she hadn't and told me that she doesn't sleep with every guy she dates after we slept together a few days before. Is she capping? I don't know what capping means. I'm not young and cool. Don't have to explain that. When Alan Roger Curry was alive, yep, my buddy, miss him. He claimed that mode 1 was not a strategy to get sex, but a way to show that you actually had the balls to go direct as possible with a woman in front of you. Yeah, now, I've talked about him. He could pull it off because he's a super fucking confident guy. And I've said many times, black guys are more confident than white guys, by far. It's not even close. They are less outcome independent. They got a problem with outcome dependence. They got an issue with that, but they're extremely confident. So, yeah, he was able to pull it off. My argument was that most men aren't going to be able to pull it off. The vast majority of human beings, especially white guys, are not going to be able to walk up to some hot girl at a grocery store and say, hey, I'm going to slip my cock inside your wet pussy. Because that's what he would teach. Sorry, it's not going to work for most guys. Some guys, yes. Thoughts on the murder of the United Healthcare CEO in New York City? CEO is receiving death threats. You are a public person. Are you worried about something like this will happen to you either by a hater or upset customer? What do you think my answer is? You should know what my answer is to that. Have you ever used private security? What do you think my answer is? Put in the chat what you think my answer is. You know my answer to that question. Once you establish your OLTR, is it important to tell your MLTRs about your OLTR in order to downgrade them to FBs, or can you downgrade them without disclosing the info by how you act them? That is not against the rules to not tell them why you're downgraded. You can, if you wish, not keep them in the dark about that if you'd like. That's not my style. I tell everybody everything. But if you don't want to tell them, fine. You live in Dubai. Because of a conflict, would you date an Israeli or a Palestinian woman? Yes, I would, without even blinking. As you're in Dubai, yes. Do people in Dubai protest the conflict like they do in their countries? What do you think? Dubai has no civil unrest at all. You are used to civil unrest because you live in the collapsing Western world. We don't have that problem here. Dubai is a paradise. No, we don't. And Palestinians and Israeli Jews are welcome in Dubai. No one gives a fuck. For first dates, you recommend coffee shops or bars. What if you pitch these date options and a girl asks to eat dinner or lunch? What do you say? First of all, she's probably over the age of 33 because that's what they will do. Women over the age of 33-ish are going to go, can we go to dinner? Then you have a decision to make. If she's over 33, you have a decision to make. Either do it and suck it up and pay the fee and cross your fingers, up to you. Or bail. That's your decision. If she's under 33, you say something like, look, I will have already eaten that day. We can go to this bar, and if you're hungry, we can eat something too, and see what she says. And if she absolutely puts her fucking foot down and she's under 33, again, you have a decision to make. Make sure she's not Russian. What exactly would you do to kickstart starting your own business? I don't understand the question. It's very broad. Everything I talk about, I would find a narrow niche with a problem, or I would focus on finding a narrow niche, new customers, and I'd be a sales rep for them. Have you gotten jealous of men? Do you think I get jealous? You know the answer to that question. You guys are asking me a lot of questions you already know the answers to today. Have you gotten jealous of men that had a girlfriend? And if so, how did you handle it? No. You mean back when I was a beta? Maybe you're asking back when I was a beta. Back when I was a beta, jealous wasn't the word. I mean, jealous of him, not jealous of her. So yeah, sure. Back when I was a pussy beta, sure. I fixed that problem. I started having sex with hot girls, and then I didn't care. What's an evening alternative to a bar, coffee shops? Bar. That doesn't make sense. Bars are open at night. Evening date alternative to bars or coffee shops. Most coffee shops are open in the evening, early evening, not 11 a.m. or 11 p.m., excuse me. You can also in the evening go for a walk in the park if you live in an area where it's not freezing cold. I have had many successful walk in the park first dates. They're great. And women are like, oh, wow. So that's fine. Be creative. If you don't enjoy or are not particularly good at sales marketing, can you outsource that to a contract employee as a startup? Yes, you can. You can do that. Don't recommend it, but you can. And some guys have done that and it works, yes. Do white girls' father get angry when their daughters date a non-white man? No, that would be Asian girls with Asian fathers. Would emotional control fall under OI? Well, somewhat. They are two separate things, but they are very closely related on the Venn diagram. But they're not quite the same thing. You can be outcome independent and someone punches you like hard in the arm when you're not expecting it, it hurts, and you go, what the fuck, man? So that's not outcome dependence. That's you're angry. So similar, but not the same thing. Caleb just had this happen, went on a date of town this weekend, went out with the mindset of this doesn't matter at all, was banging her brains out 2 hours later. Fantastic. That's how it works. Wouldn't you argue that if you need to be motivated and seek out, external input and do work that's the wrong vehicle? Oh, I see. And that you must do work that doesn't feel like work. In general, yes. Here's my statement. You can't hate what you do. You can't hate your business. You don't have to love your business, but you can't hate it. And if you just dread fucking going to work every day in your business, yeah, you're in the wrong niche. At a bare minimum, you need to have some curiosity about the niche. Either like the niche, love the niche, or have some curiosity about it. So yeah, generally speaking, correct. Now, there are days, I have days, I love what I do, but I have days where I'm like, oh man, I don't want to do that because part of my work I don't like, and I got to motivate myself a little bit. That's not typical. John Anthony Lifestyle says, my favorite comments start with John Anthony Lifestyle says, or Andrew Tate says, or Jordan Peterson says, or Tristan Tate says. John Anthony Lifestyle says that he's the most outcome independent guy in the industry. Yeah. Also, what the hell is over obsession of how guys look and thinking they need money and status to bang hot women? I have an entire chapter on this in the new Unchained Man book. Men are over obsessed with SMV because they've been poisoned by social media. I just did a live stream podcast on that about 3 weeks ago. You can go watch that podcast. Yes, Instagram and some aspects of YouTube have destroyed men's brains. They think they have to have perfect hairstyles and six-pack abs and a Lamborghini or no one will fuck them. It's awful. And it's never been like that in all of human history. It wasn't like that in the 80s or the 70s or the 90s or the 2000s or even the 2000 teens. I know. Sucks. In the 90 Business Builder, are there other peripheral expenses needed in order to implement the business plan? Yes, about $300. That's it. Unless you want to spend more money. $300 max. How can you give off outcome independent energy whilst trying to get her on a date and actually organize the meet? Gentle persistence, and then you stop after two objections. Hey, we should go out. Okay. Or we should meet up. Okay. How about 7 p.m. on Thursday? No, I don't think so. Okay, cool. How about 9 p.m. on Saturday? Or maybe Sunday? No. Okay, bye. Caleb, you said we all need to move out of the West. Yeah, that's my mantra. What if we aren't mentally ready but still build a plan B option? I've said that. You don't have to move out of the West. My opinion is you should move out of the West right the fuck now. But I've also said you don't have to move out of the West. Set up your international backup plan. There's no excuses against that. No one has the excuse, I don't want to set up an international backup plan. Anyone can do that. Even if you have little kids, you can do that right now. Might take you a few months, and you can get it done. There's no excuses against that. I plan on fully moving out in 2028, but we'll internationalize starting next year. That's fine. Get your international backup plan ready to rock. Let's say by August of next year, and you're good to go. Now you have somewhere to go when something horrible happens. It's fine. My new book will help you. Freedom Fortress, coming in January. I know you said nice, Caleb, but don't you think that cocky and funny is way better to actively demonstrate both AI and confidence? The challenge with cocky and funny is that guys overdo it. Number one, guys way overdo the cocky funny. Number one. Number two, guys don't look natural when they do it because they're like INTJ nerds and they're not cocky and funny and they try to act cocky and funny. It looks weird. So that's why I don't push the cocky and funny thing. In my experience, and I've had a lot of experience helping guys with dating, guys either look miscalibrated when they do it or they way fucking overdo it into clown mode. Clown mode or Andrew Tate mode, which doesn't work most of the time unless you have ridiculous SMV. So that's why. Now, I'm not saying cocky and funny is bad. I'm cocky and funny. I am cocky and funny, but not much. Some. I'm also chill, relaxed, leaning back, and outcome independent while being a little cocky and a little funny. Sure. Tommy Lauren is hot. I'm attracted to women like her. Thoughts? She hates men. I did a whole video on her where she called how men today are trash. If you like hot, bitchy women, go ahead. I like hot, nice women. Also, Caleb took your advice. I ended the de facto monogamous relationship and revised my code for this to never happen again. Thank God. Please. Good. Ryan Gosling, quiet confidence. Yes. Quiet confidence. Good example of that. Yes, you're spot on with that. That's right. They use hella whitening creams, look whiter in Southeast Asia. That's true. That's true. Korea especially. You're right. That's true. Got Invisalign 2 years ago, inspired initially by Caleb mentioning this. Cool. So did I. Really good decision. So thanks, Caleb. You're very welcome. Pink Firefly got it too for her bottom row. So yeah, Invisalign's the shit. Costs a little money, but you only need to do it once and you're set for life. As long as you now you got to wear your retainer when you go to bed every night, or else you're going to have to do it again. Shoes, it matters to women. Clean, smart shoes or boots. Correct. I have to learn that one because men don't look at shoes. I don't look at shoes. Do you have one of your FBs shave your back? I've never done that. Have I done that? Maybe I did that once as a funny thing. No, I use the man groomer. It's this long extendable thing, and you can shave. And I don't have a lot of hair on my back. What I did when I got here in Dubai is, I did have one of my FBs in Dubai laser my back a few times. So now I barely need to do it. I have these little wispy hairs. My back is great. So, and she was one of my FBs. She did it for free. Yeah. How do I convert my 2.5-year monogamous relationship into a non-monogamous one? You need to go to store.calebjones.com and buy my course, mini course, how to convert a monogamous relationship to open. Or if you've been living with her, you need to get my book, The Ultimate Open Marriage Manual. Both those are at that store. That's how you do it. Why women Google search your name? Why do they Google search my name or your name? I understand your question. Yes, I've had women do that to me. I don't care. I'm not going to pin it. Since women voted for Trump more this time, don't you think you should change your idea of Western societies? No. Why? And that America is at least slowing down its trend toward liberalism. Go read the blog post at the Caleb Jones blog that just went up yesterday. You guys are completely misreading this. The Trump election was a rejection of wokeism, not left-wing shit. I did an entire podcast a few months ago at the Unchained CEO channel on woke is not left. Woke and left are two completely different things. Bill Maher is left. He is not woke. So people have had enough of the woke shit. You're right. And that's good. They love left shit. They love it. They love big government. They love welfare state. They would love it if Americans would love it, including Trump supporters. They've said it in surveys. They would love it if the government paid for everyone's health care, like in Europe. Most people, Americans, most Trump supporters support UBI, Universal Basic Income. Left is still very popular, and people will still get more left, not woke. Woke is a teeny tiny percentage of humanity, mostly in New York City and Los Angeles. And the Trump election was a repudiation of wokeism, not leftism. You think these women who voted for Trump are all minarchists, libertarians? No, they're all left-wingers who love big government, who are tired of the woke shit. Left is not woke. So many people are confused about this. Millions of people are confused about this. Oh, people are less left now. No, they're not. Trump supporters are left-wingers when it comes to fiscal matters. Trump is a left-winger when it comes to financial matters, and so are you probably if you're a Trump supporter. Left, not woke. Left. That's why you can say socialism now, and it's not a bad word. Which, by the way, that transition from socialism being a bad word to a good word happened under Trump with Bernie Sanders. I don't struggle with anger, but I do get strong bouts of sadness and depression. That's horrible. You need to fix that. It can be really hard to shake. I don't take drugs or medicines. Go get a therapist. If I had your problem, I'd already be talking to at least one therapist, maybe two. I'm not kidding. I wouldn't put up with that. Strong bouts of sadness and depression. Bro, see someone to get it fixed or alleviated. Best condoms. I don't have strong opinions about this anymore. I was using Trojan ecstasy condoms. I stopped using them because you can't really get them in Dubai and I want to keep ordering them. So now Durex used to suck, but now these brands like Trojan and Durex actually have some pretty good condoms. The quality of condoms with the normal condom brands has really upped their game the last 15 years since I started having sex in Alpel 2.0. So I don't really have a strong opinion. As thin as you can get it. As thin as you can get it. But not Japanese condoms. They break. When guys try to use all these PUA techniques, don't you think it just comes off as unnatural? Particularly when they try to use specific lines and styles, which doesn't suit them at all. Today, yes, some PUA techniques come off as unnatural today. Now, back in 2006 and 2007, they didn't, and women fell for them. That being said, there are plenty of pickup artist techniques that work great today if you do them correctly. If you do the cube on women, you can Google it. I used to do this all the time back in the day. Works great today. Works great. It's a pure PUA technique. So depends. Depends the guy, depends the technique. This might sound ridiculous, but do you have any tips on being funny? I don't. I'm a naturally funny guy. Remember talking about naturals? I don't. I can't deconstruct how I'm funny. I just am funny. I'm funny. I'm a funny guy. I could be a stand-up comic. I'm not because they don't make money. It's a horrible life. But so no, I can't. I can't deconstruct why I'm funny. There are plenty of good books on that on Amazon. Go get one. Hey man, you're a hero of mine. Cool. What's your point of view about using a bold pickup line to screen women who are actually DTF? I don't believe in high work, low results models. I don't believe in that model. If you like pickup, if you're a thrill of the hunt kind of guy, then fine. It's not my world. I don't believe in models where you have to open hundreds of women to bang two. Some guys think that's cool. I don't like it. My deal is I work when I work. I don't want to work when in my woman life. I work hard enough in my companies. I don't want to go work when I pick up chicks. Most guys who were at picking up girls for some time realized no point in using all gimmicky things, just confident, sexual, escalate, go for the high interest girls. Okay. I banged heaps of girls, and only technique I used was to progress fast, 2 or 3 messages, not complaining. Okay. Okay, great. Could you do a collab stream with Mr. Lucario one of these Wednesdays? He's big on live streams. Yeah, he's doing live streams for like forever, hasn't he? Yeah, it's on my to-do list. Yeah, I should reach out to him for January. Yeah. Oh, one of you answered correctly. Am I worried about getting killed? 2% rule. Very good, Matthew. Correct. Being brutally honest, what do you think? What am I not brutally honest? Hello, it's me. What do you think is more attractive for women? The non-physical traits you mentioned today or physical qualities? Solid OI and confidence versus looking amazing. Solid OI and confidence if you don't look like shit. So you can't look like shit and be confident, outcome independent, and get laid. That's not going to work. You know what? It can, but generally it's not. So if you don't look like shit and you are super confident and outcome independent, you will surpass the guy who is good looking and is not confident and not outcome independent. I put out many examples of good looking dudes, and I've coached good looking guys who were not confident and not outcome independent, and they were not getting laid. So that's the answer. It also depends on nationality of the woman. Russian women, who I don't recommend, care much less about physical appearance than like American women do. Russian women almost don't care at all. I mean, I'm not going to go quite that far, but close. Smoking hot Russian girls almost don't care how you look. They do, but not nearly as much as like Western European or American chicks. Yes, Caleb definitely lives in a John McAfee hidden compound with a private army. There are aspects to my life I don't talk about, but that's not one of them. But yeah. I started watching Lucario, but he has more direct game than you, correct? It aligns better with me because I bang girls on the first date. Okay, I don't. Okay, I like to progress fast, but he only does high interest girls. I do the same. Yeah, there is some definite differences between Lucario and myself. He is non-monogamous like me, but even that looks different than mine. So yeah, he's not exactly like me. No one is exactly like me. Hoo-hoo. Austin Dunham said he never got laid after a coffee date during the day. Once he said that, I was like, what the fuck? This guy got no game. I bang heaps of girls after a coffee date. Coffee dates are fine. I've done many coffee dates that worked. John Anthony Lifestyle said that he will fight anyone who disagrees with him, that he's talking independent. All right, you're being silly now. The president of Argentina is a right-wing libertarian. Correct. What are your thoughts about his leadership? He seems nutty. What you just said, all of that is accurate. He's a right-wing libertarian, and he's a little bit of a nut job. Great. Most libertarians are a little nutty, including me. Being rational about government almost means you're a little nutty about other stuff, kind of. He's doing his best. Great, good for him. Is it going to help Argentina? Nope. As soon as he leaves, it's going to go right back to hell, just like Argentina. That's how Argentina works. When in real-time direct competition, is there a way to outgame really attractive men? I've done it many times, yes. For the less genetically gifted, I have outgained numerous way better looking men than me, men with six-pack abs, numerous times. Too many times to mention. Are you kidding? No fucking problem. Why? Because these guys were super outcome dependent, slobbering all over girls, texting them every day, falling in love with them after first date. Good-looking guys are often really outcome dependent. And women go, oh my God. And then they fuck me. How do you meet really nerdy girls who like Lord of the Rings but are also hot? My Paraguay wife is a nerdy girl. She's not into Lord of the Rings. She's super into anime and like K-pop, mostly anime, super nerdy as fuck. And she's in like Hello Kitty, and she's great. I don't screen women, so I don't do that. I have sex in the olden days, not these days. I have sex with lots of girls, and I pick out the best ones. So my answer is you go have sex with 20 women, 2 or 3 will be nerdy, grab them and dump the rest. Cocky funny is the most overrated technique of all time. Push-pull is also way, way overrated. Cocky and funny is more overrated than push-pull, but yeah, I agree they're both overrated, yes. The better alternative to cocky funny is just called cheeky in the UK, a bit teasy, jokey, but still good-natured. That's the aim. I agree with that statement. That's a much better way of saying it. I agree. The UK style. Yes, there's a lot about UK culture that I don't like, but that's one I do like. And there's a lot about UK culture I do like. It's like a 50-50 thing with me. I'm struggling getting dating leads in my new area, and it's starting to affect my confidence, but it's not the main area of life improvement. I'm trying to get my business goals now. Good. Good. Do women or men spend more time online researching the past history, potential boyfriend, girlfriend? You know, both about the same, because most men and women don't do that. But there's a percentage of women who do that, and there's a percentage of men who do that, and they're both psychos. So I don't think it's more men or women. I think it's about the same. Robert De Niro is my favorite actor. Is he a good example of OI and confidence? Not OI, no. Robert De Niro characters are very outcome dependent. Although The Irishman, if you watch The Irishman, he was pretty outcome independent in that movie. So that's an exception. He is not outcome independent at all in his characters, I mean. No. Confidence, generally, yes. Depending on the movie, like Heat, very confident. Yep. Yep. You want to see super confidence? Cape Fear. Holy shit. Talk about confidence. Whoa. Watch that fucking movie. It's a great movie. God damn. I saw it in the theater. Trump was a rejection of woke and a classic trend of the U.S. electric backing and forthing between the two parties, not realizing they're really the same party in different colors. Correct. I like Durex Air. Yeah, I think those are good. There's Durex Invisible and Durex Air. Yeah, those are both good. Mm-hmm. My question mentioned above about having a contractor do your sales or marketing setup. Is 90-day business builder compatible for this if I prefer? Yes, if you have the money to do it, yes, it is compatible with that. Mm-hmm. How can I manage an MLTR in our mutual social circle? We have mutual friends and often together in that circle. As I've said many times, having MLTRs in a social circle is extremely difficult. I just don't recommend it. It's not a good idea. FBs are okay if you're careful. MLTRs are really hard. And if you're going to insist on having an MLTR in a shared social circle, you can't bang any other girls. You can't. So all my MLTRs, I had MLTRs for over a decade. I made sure we're in separate circles and didn't know each other. You've changed my life, and I'm only just starting with your content. Cool. Love it. I've heard frame is the most important quality in game. Would you say that's similar to confidence? Yeah. When I talk about confidence and outcome independence, that's all framing. That's all part of frame. So that is a correct statement. But if you look at what frame is, what is frame? Confidence, outcome independence, also sexual aggressiveness. Funny. All the stuff I just talked about is part of frame. Mm-hmm. What is a niche I can go into that's not regularly regulated and have a legal background? The vast majority of niches are not regulated and don't have a legal background. Anything that says legal advice is already getting into regulatory territory. Then don't do that. Oh, you mean you have a legal background? I don't quite understand your question. Thanks, Dad. Only nice chatting with you. You're welcome, son. A lot of Eastern European girls don't care as much either about physical appearance, but they like their guys tough. Yes, that's accurate. Masculinity trumps looks, I'd say, i.e. confidence. Generally true with Eastern European and Russian women. Yes, tough. Masculine, tough guys. If you're fat and doofy looking with these Russian European chicks, but you're a masculine, tough guy, alpha 1.0, alpha 2.0, yes. Yeah, that's good enough for them. True. Don't date Russian women unless you want drama. I've said that many times. I have entire articles about this. Women aren't stimulated visually. That's not correct. They are stimulated visually. So wouldn't you say looks are the least important part of getting laid? No. Women are stimulated, but they're not as stimulated, and it's not as important to a woman's overall attraction. So let me make the correct statement. Physical appearance of a man is not as important to a woman as physical appearance for a woman. True. But it is incorrect to say women don't care how you look or women are not visually stimulated. Yes, they fucking are. Watch a bunch of women watch the movie Magic Mike and tell me that women are not visually stimulated. Yes, they fucking are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Go on a boat, go to a boat party, and all the guys look like have dad bods, but there's that one guy who's fucking ripped as shit. Six-pack ab, and he takes his shirt off. Watch the women and tell me they're not stimulated visually. So yes, they are. So it is critical you don't look like shit. That is critical. What did I just say? You can be outcome independent and confident, but if you look like shit, not going to work unless you're in Russia. Let's see, where are we? All right. How are we doing on time? Hang on. Am I going way over here? Yeah, okay. A few more questions. I got to go. Hang on. Jesus, where was I? Okay. I just saw your great video, like myself, I deserve it. What? I just saw your great video. I like myself and I deserve it. Oh, okay. But how do you know if you really deserve things? What if you don't? You have to have earned it, right? I'm going to give you a frame. How old are you? You have survived and built your body for that many years. Regardless of what shape it's in, you have done all the work. So if you're 30 years old, you have been working day in and day out for 30 years to maintain your body and maintain your brain, regardless of what shapes it's in. That's a lot of fucking work. You deserve it. Love Cape Fear, one of my favorites. One more question on having the contractors for a startup. You're really overthinking this. Just join Business Builder. You'll be okay. Can they be contingent on sales and commission as opposed to salary? Of course. You don't pay anyone salary in Alpha 2.0. Of course. Yeah, the answer is yes, of course. That's what, my salespeople are on commission. They're not salary. Fuck that. My last two niches were too difficult to get through despite being approved niches and making the calls. What should I do when looking for my third niche? Avoid the mistakes you made for the first two, whichever those are. I don't know what those are. So you made some errors at some point in the first two. Learn what errors you made and don't make that mistake a third time. Thanks for breaking this down. Very clear. Cool. What is so great about the 12-week year? Are you really supposed to get a full year's worth of work done in 12 weeks? Just bought the book thanks to you. Not exactly, although you can. I've done it. I've gotten a full year's work done in 12 months before. 12 weeks, excuse me. I've done it. That's not the objective. The objective is you'll get more work done in a given 12 months if you treat the 12 months like 4 12-week years. That's the objective. And it does make that difference. Absolutely. Big live stream coming up about how to plan your year and how to plan your quarter. Coming up in about 2 weeks. Caleb, do you wear a fitness band to track that stuff? No, but I do an Oura ring. It's right here on my finger, right there. Best thing I've ever bought. It's like you said, when you take your clothes off for a girl you're about to sleep with, they have reactions ranging from wow to, okay, I can work with that or something. Right. Correct. You want to have a body where you take your shirt off and they go, all right, that's all right. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, I did a whole podcast on it, didn't I? Right? I will never have six-pack abs. So I will never have a body where I take my shirt off and a woman goes, oh! It's never going to happen with me. But what you want is, at a bare minimum, she's so attracted to you, you take your shirt off. If you look like a dad bod or not too, chubby but not horrible, she goes, all right, I can work with that. Okay, that's good. Whereas if you take your shirt off and you look like fucking Danny DeVito, and she goes, ugh, that's not good. You got to fix that. But yeah, good memory. Can you do a video on when nothing is working? Too general a statement. Nothing what? I understand. All right. Thank you as always, Caleb. You're right. Your content is the fucking best on all the internet, hands down. Well, I didn't say my content is the best, although it is. I said 90-Day Business Builder is the best program for building a business on the internet. That is not my opinion. That is fact. 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 If you want to start your own location-dependent business and you don't join Business Builder, unless you're super, super poor, okay, fine. But if you have even a little money, you're insane. I purposely designed this program with Billy and Jeff and a bunch of other people. We made this program to be the premier, best business program in the fucking world. That's been my goal from day one with this program. And now I can finally definitively say it is. I couldn't say that 2-3 years ago. I said I could say it was good because it was good. Now it's the best. Pumped. Your content is the best. Well, thank you very much. All right, guys. I will see you guys on Monday on how to build a dream team for your business with Billy. That'll be on Monday at the Unchained CEO channel. And then the Alpha 2.0 one after that is how to avoid or deal with one-itis. Big topics here for the rest of the year. I want to end this year with a bang. Cool? Cool. All right. Bye, guys.